That's it. Let me do my job now. You start with me. Come on.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 serious movies starring comedians.
Mark, we as a nation fail to honor you. And that's a problem.
For this list, we'll be ranking the films that featured comedians spreading their creative wings and fighting against typecasting by delivering some seriously dramatic performances. Can you think of any we missed? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, The Boys in the Band, Jim Parsons. It can be challenging to break out from the shadow of a very popular comedic character. It's doubly difficult when you're also trying to make a successful transition from television into major motion pictures. Fortunately, Jim Parsons seems to be on the right track, thanks not only to a supporting role on Netflix's Ted Bundy true crime dramatization, but for another of the streaming service's projects, an update of The Boys in the Band.
Well, this should pick you up. I went shopping today, and I bought all sorts of goodies.
Parsons shines with an ensemble cast, while the film's pedigree as both a stage play and a 1970 film from Exorcist director William Friedkin lend it a certain level of prestige for the actor. A win-win situation.
Life is a goddamned laugh riot. You remember life.
You're stoned.
Happy birthday, Harold.
You're stoned, and you're late. You were supposed to arrive at this location at approximately 8:30-9 o'clock.
Number 19, Ordinary People, Mary Tyler Moore. It was a bold move for Mary Tyler Moore to take on the role of Beth Jarrett, a mother who's unsuccessfully dealing with the emotional loss of her eldest son and the traumatic aftermath going on within her family.
Anyway, isn't it time we got back to normal?
He's just started with this doctor.
All right, so he'll miss 3 weeks.
Why interrupt it?
Because I want to get away. I think we all should. It's important.
Moore was America's sweetheart, showcasing a warm and outgoing personality on TV programs like The Mary Tyler Moore Show and The Dick Van Dyke Show. Beth is a startling about-face, a woman who may not truly love anyone, and who is clearly dealing with the realization that she may have cared about one child more than the other.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't have had any flu if Buck was in the hospital. She would have come if Buck was in the hospital.
Buck never would have been in the hospital.
That's enough. That is enough.
I won't do it again. I really won't do it.
Ordinary People is unflinching about presenting real characters with real problems, and Moore absolutely delivers a brave performance on screen. Number 18, The Good Girl, Jennifer Aniston. It might have been easy for naysayers to write off Jennifer Aniston as simply a comedic actress if she only stayed within the confines of hit shows like Friends, but thankfully we have films such as 2002's The Good Girl, offering proof to the contrary.
I used to, lie in bed and imagine other cities, other jobs I could have, other husbands. Now I don't even know what to imagine anymore.
Aniston successfully hits on the beats of loneliness and disillusion as a housewife who craves excitement and escapes from what she sees as boring adult life. There are comedic elements to The Good Girl, but the stakes of an extramarital affair, robbery, and unplanned pregnancy all hit in a serious way, especially in how they relate to the relationship between Aniston and her husband, played by John C. Reilly.
I want to beat his ass.
Phil, don't.
Oh, you're getting all swollen. I'm sorry I hit you, babe.
The Good Girl is definitely worth a watch. Number 17, Life, Eddie Murphy. Speaking of comedy drama balancing acts, Life is a movie that very easily could have devolved into a one-note premise, but thankfully brings a surprising amount of pathos and drama into what's basically a story of friendship.
Hey, don't I know you?
I don't think so.
Yes, I do. I know you. What is your name?
Claude Banks.
Claude Banks! Claude Banks! Hey, Miss Me! Ray Gibson! We went to high school together. How you doing, man?
Although today we know exactly how well Eddie Murphy can handle drama, as evidenced by other films like 2016's Mr. Church, it wasn't totally that way back in 1999. Life describes the timelines of Ray and Claude during their life imprisonment for a crime they didn't commit. We see how their relationship ebbs and flows, with plenty of moments for both Murphy and his co-star Martin Lawrence to showcase their dramatic chops.
Gave up hope and hung himself. And I ain't going out like that, Claude.
Well, maybe you fooling yourself, Ray. Maybe you just a chip off the old block.
Now you gonna take that back or we ain't friends no more.
Newsflash, Ray, we ain't never been friends.
We highly recommend giving Life a watch. Number 16, Ray, Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx can seemingly do it all in the entertainment industry. A talented actor, musician, and comedian who saw early crossover success thanks to his breakout performance as Ray Charles in the 2004 biopic, Ray.
I keep wondering what the real Ray Charles sound like.
Ray Charles? Who's he?
Well, nobody if you don't know. Sorry, I should have kept my mouth shut.
Oh, no. Then you wouldn't be you.
Fox owns his performance as the soul and R&B icon, perhaps taking from his history of impressions and physical comedy while filtering it down to a dramatic essence. We feel like we're watching Fox step into Charles's shoes, showcasing both the highs and lows of Ray's remarkable life.
Mr. Charles, you're not the first celebrity junkie I've treated.
Junkie? What are you...
Nobody cons me at any price.
I'm not trying to do that.
If you want me to give that judge a positive report, you will have to earn it.
It was just the start of what would be a textured and varied career for Fox on the silver screen, a journey that continues today. Number 15, Drive, Albert Brooks. It's one thing to play against type, and quite another to play violently against type. Consider the performance of Albert Brooks in Drive to be one of the latter.
The reason I'm telling you this is that he has a lot invested in you. And so do I. So anything you need, you call me. We're a team now.
This is because Brooks absolutely nails the viciousness and amorality of ruthless mob boss Bernie Rose, a stark contrast to some of the actor's other lighter performances. Bernie, by contrast, is visceral and physical, yet Brooks seems tailor-made for the role.
My partner is a belligerent asshole with his back against the wall. Right now, so am I. If I don't set this straight, I'm in big trouble.
Drive, by all accounts, benefited from its strong ensemble cast, engaging story, and excellent synth-fueled soundtrack. But it hinged upon its antagonist as well, and we have Albert Brooks to thank for that fact. Number 14, Foxcatcher, Steve Carrell. Starring on a hugely successful show can sometimes be both a blessing and a curse, particularly if one is trying to avoid typecasting.
More importantly, I am a patriot. And I want to see this country soar again.
I want that too.
I can see that.
Hollywood loves milking a good thing dry, and ambitious actors need to diversify early if they hope to survive. Steve Carell seemed to be well aware of this, as evidenced by the jobs he took on after leaving The Office. Foxcatcher was just one of the heavy and dramatic roles taken on by the former Michael Scott, with Carell appearing wildly different for his performance as millionaire John DuPont.
We're gonna win a gold medal, John.
How are you feeling?
I feel very good about it.
I'm a little concerned that there are some psychological issues that we need to take care of.
The true crime vibes of Foxcatcher are compelling, and Carell more than holds his own against co-stars Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo. Check it out for yourself. Number 13, The Trial of the Chicago 7, Sacha Baron Cohen. Aaron Sorkin knows dialogue, and it certainly showed in 2020's The Trial of the Chicago 7.
That defendant Hoffman and I are not related.
Father, no.
Mr. Hoffman, are you familiar with contempt of court?
It's practically a religion for me, sir.
The film is definitely an ensemble piece, but one actor shines particularly bright, Sacha Baron Cohen, whose portrayal of activist Abby Hoffman is startlingly good, especially given the comedian's notoriety for dark satire. The Borat actor also handles Sorkin's heavy dialogue in an engaging way and helps push the film's kinetic energy ever forward.
When we walked in here this morning, they were chanting that the whole world is watching. This is it, we're on. This is what revolution looks like, real revolution, cultural revolution.
Why did you come here?
I got an invitation from a grand jury.
Sacha Baron Cohen may not have been the first actor to portray Abby Hoffman, but his performance certainly stands as one of the best. Number 12, Requiem for a Dream, Marlon Wayans. Requiem for a Dream is one of those movies that's fantastic while at the same time being something most will never want to watch again.
Hey, look, I ain't trying to jive you, Jim.
I don't want to be running the streets my whole life with my sneakers all ripped up, my nose running down to my chin. All I'm saying is we should take a little taste so we know how much to cut. It's business.
This is due primarily to its relentlessly depressing tone and near hopeless downbeat ending. Still, Darren Aronofsky's film is something audiences will never forget, thanks largely to a cast that felt game to ensure some true on-screen misery. Marlon Wayans may have been a surprising choice, but he absolutely delivers in a role that isn't glamorous or pleasant.
Seems like 1,000 years ago since last summer, man. It'll be like that again, man.
It's a hard left turn from Wayans' silly comedy side, but one that proves the comedian's layered and underrated talent. Number 11, Precious, Monique. Okay, so we don't mean to bum out the room here, but please indulge us in another film that pulls no punches with regards to its content.
Precious! 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 Get down here, bitch!
We can't even begin to describe the horrors the title character Clarice Precious Jones endures during the course of the film, but we can tell you how shocking it is to see Monique portraying a character as reprehensible as Precious's mother, Mary.
You come eat this shit.
I'm not hungry though.
Yes, you is. Precious, if you don't get this goddamn plate.
Monique earned an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and it's absolutely well-deserved since Mary's treatment of her daughter feels beyond the pale and a tough pill to swallow for just about any performer. Number 10, the King of Comedy, Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis was a Hollywood legend, but the King of Comedy showcased a different side of him, while also presenting an opportunity to another comedic performer, Sandra Bernhard. Both play characters involved in a kidnapping and ransom plot hatched by one Rupert Pupkin, played with understated menace by Robert De Niro.
You could have us arrested. Well, of course you could have us arrested. I mean, there's no way that we can prove that we belong here. He's great. When he comes up with an idea, he's terrific. Really, I never thought of that. You should have.
Pupkin is an emotionally troubled wannabe stand-up comic who's convinced that Lewis's Jerry Langford, a talk show host roughly analogous to Johnny Carson, is his ticket to the big time. Jerry's initial kindness to Rupert leads to the eventual harrowing experience at the latter's hands, while all three actors give the performances of their lives.
That's easy for you to say, Jerry.
But I mean it. I mean, I'll go to the office and tell them all it's a gag. They'll understand that. If I tell them it's a gag, they're going to buy it. And then we'll put the tape on and we'll listen.
Sit down. I said sit down.
The King of Comedy is a must-see. Number 9, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Melissa McCarthy. Comedy is hard, and often it's even harder for comedy fans to accept dramatic performances from their favorite funny people. We have to give it up to Melissa McCarthy, however, as she's consistently shined as a nuanced and well-balanced actor in some serious-minded movies.
Who are you to judge? It's 4 in the afternoon and you're drunk.
I'm hardly drunk. It's not anyways, it's anyway.
Anyways, let's keep drinking. The day is young.
Can You Ever Forgive Me is one of those films, a biographical film about Lee Israel, a former journalist and infamous forger of letters and autographs. Both the film and McCarthy do their best at presenting Israel's story as honestly as possible, balancing facts about the writer's life, while also not softening the impact of her behavior.
What? What kind of service?
Something with children?
Ah, Jesus. No.
Animals, then sick people, whatever. You have to show that you've turned over a new leaf. And you've got to go to AA.
It may be a bit obscure compared to other titles on this list, but it's well worth seeking out. Number 8, The Irishman, Ray Romano. The arrival of a new movie from Martin Scorsese remains an event for many of us who love film, because Martin Scorsese loves film, and it shows. The Irishman isn't a quick watch by any stretch of the imagination, but it bears so much satisfying fruit for those who are willing to spend the time.
If they can prove it, just going to want names from you, accomplices. That's all. You give them a couple names, you go home. Keep your job. What do you think about that? Would you do that? Would you give them names?
There are also some surprises to be had, such as the performance of Ray Romano as Bill Buffalino, a lawyer for Jimmy Hoffa's Teamsters Union. Romano doesn't have a lot of scenes, but he makes an impact whenever he's on screen.
They only accused Mr. Sheeran because the company hoped he could name conspirators, which he couldn't do because they don't exist. They don't exist because he didn't steal anything. He didn't steal anything because he's an exemplary employee who, in 8 years, has never taken a day of sick leave.
The performance feels slightly similar to Ray's work on the short-lived HBO series Vinyl, and proves that there was more than just situation comedy and stand-up in Romano's bones. Number 7. The Last Picture Show. Cloris Leachman. Speaking of directors with that passionate love of film, Peter Bogdanovich worked with many talented actors over the course of his enviable filmography. However, it was Cloris Leachman who would perhaps surprise everyone with her performance as Ruth Popper in Bogdanovich's 1971 classic, The Last Picture Show.
Oh, God, you don't know a thing about it, do you?
The town of Anarene, Texas is a character unto itself, a place of boredom and listlessness where middle-aged Ruth enters into an affair with a local high school senior. The feeling of desperation is palpable in the film, as is the need to escape or act out, if just to feel some sort of excitement in the face of mortality. Leachman's performance is all of this and more. It also earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Number 6. Lost in Translation. Bill Murray. Bill Murray is a funny actor, but he's not a strictly comedic one. Lost in Translation is a funny film, but it's not a comedy. Not every serious movie needs high stakes, and director Sofia Coppola delivered a free-flowing, easy, yet compelling tale of people, travel, isolation, and loneliness. Themes of alienation and personal regrets abound, while Murray and his co-star Scarlett Johansson have a natural chemistry throughout Coppola's film.
I'm trying to organize a prison break. I'm looking for, like, an accomplice. We'd have to first get out of this bar, then the hotel, then the city, and then the country. Are you in or are you out?
I'm in.
Lost in Translation is yet another example of how we can love all of Bill Murray's varied filmography, from the wacky comedy of Meatballs, Caddyshack, and Stripes, to the quirkier roads he's taken in more recent years. Number 5. Nashville. Lily Tomlin. Robert Altman is one of those celebrated directors with a varied filmography and reputation for working with great actors. An example of this fact just has to be his 1975 film, Nashville, which many critics deem to be amongst his best. Nashville contains a huge ensemble cast, but Lily Tomlin still manages to stand out with her portrayal of Linnea Reese.
Ever since that old Easy Rider movie, that's the kind of bike that everybody's been driving, those long, low, laid back in the front. They're so dangerous, aren't they? They are.
Reese is a gospel singer trapped within an unhappy marriage and the mother of 2 children with special needs. The affair she has with fellow singer Tom Brown doesn't define her as a character, but instead just offers insight into Linnea's emotional search for meaning and excitement.
Let me have a drink.
You smoke?
No.
What do you want to do that for? Doesn't look good.
No.
It's part of what Robert Altman did so well, exploring complex and layered characters with unique motivations. Number 4. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is another actor on this list who struggled to escape from a career largely defined by physical comedy. The Truman Show was one such attempt, while 2004's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was a perfect storm of sorts, thanks to some seriously impressive creative power.
See, I wouldn't think that about you.
Why wouldn't you think that about me?
I don't know. I don't know. I just seem nice, so.
Oh, now I'm nice?
Director Michel Gondry, screenwriter Charlie Kaufman, and Carrey are firing on all cylinders, while Carrey's co-star Kate Winslet serves as the missing piece of a puzzle that's captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. This is thanks largely to the film's visual style, its sensitive heart, and its outside-the-box point of view.
What do you want, Joel?
Just wait. I don't know. I want you to wait for just a while.
Additionally, Carrey brings an everyman's sense of honesty and imperfection to the role, making Eternal Sunshine just a little bit brighter thanks to his involvement. Number 3. Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams. The energy of Robin Williams' comedic performances was impossible to contain. However, he was equally adept at breaking out of that box and delivering performances that spanned the gamut from frightening to endearing.
Because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself. I
doubt you've ever dared to love anybody that much.
1 Hour Photo and Insomnia were two examples of the former, while Williams' performance as Dr. Sean McGuire in Good Will Hunting earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. It could be argued that Williams actually upstages the film's leads and screenwriters, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, but this is in no way a slight.
It's not your fault.
It's simply a testament to how powerful and affecting Williams was to just about everyone around him, and a reminder of how much he is missed. Number 2. Uncut Gems. Adam Sandler. By all accounts, Adam Sandler seems to enjoy nothing more than getting together with his friends to make some silly, immature comedy movies. However, this isn't to say that Sandler can't step it up with some serious dramatic acting chops. Reign Over Me was proof of this, as was his performance in 2002's Punch Drunk Love.
You okay?
Yes.
Why are you wearing a suit?
I bought one. I thought it would be nice to get dressed for work, and I'm not exactly sure why.
However, fans and critics alike really stood up and took notice in 2019, when Sandler starred as obsessive jeweler Howard Ratner in the Safdie brothers' Uncut Gems.
I hate being with you. I hate looking at you. And if I had my way, I would never see you again.
It's because you're mad. You're mad, and it makes sense. You can punch me if you want.
The film is a 2-hour-plus panic attack and features a nail-biter of a performance from Sandler. Ratner's quest to escape from massive debt and a crippling gambling habit spares no expense in leaving the audience anxious and breathless by the film's end. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Blue Collar. Richard Pryor. Blue Collar may not be universally known, but trust us when we say that you'll be glad you spent some time with this tense 1978 thriller. What happens to the trio of Yaphet Kotto, Harvey Keitel, and especially Richard Pryor speaks volumes about the complex dynamics of union labor and the politics that go on behind closed doors.
It's not me, like I said, it's Uncle Sam. You have to find a way to pay it. I could take I have to take a statement on you tonight.
Man, where I'm gonna get that kind of money? Shit, you talking about my life.
Pryor's character and his two co-workers get in over their heads when a planned robbery of a union vault reveals more than they bargained for. And Pryor needs to make some difficult decisions as to how he's going to proceed.
How much power am I gonna have?
How much can you handle?
All you got.
Then you have it. Now this is for real. This is a hard-ass outfit, and we don't take slackers.
I ain't no slacker.
Paul Schrader's direction and screenplay are excellent, while Pryor's performance is riveting from the first frame to the last. If you watch one movie from our list, make it this one. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.